I grew up with a family who didn't go to church, and although my life was amazing, it was one of those things that even as a child, I really wanted to have in my life. I lived on a farm, and my parents wouldn't take me into town to attend church, and they probably wouldn't have let me hitchhike, so I would just go whenever the opportunity came up. My grandparents lived about 6 hours away from us, and when I was little, I got to go spend some time with them, and I would always get them to take me to the nearby church, even though they didn't go. When I was a teenager, I'd get my neighbors to take me along to their church, and as a young adult, I went to the evening service at Nakamin. Talking about God or Jesus was never really a thing in my household, and about 5 years ago, I found out that two of my siblings weren't even sure if God was real, and that honestly blew my mind because for me, there was never a question about that. And I know this to be true because of the connection that I feel with Jesus at times. Wade described this perfectly a couple of Sundays ago. He called it the thin space, and I knew exactly what he was talking about because I've experienced it several times myself. There have been a few times in my life where I've really needed some advice and guidance and reassurance from God, and He has always come through for me. I'd like to share a couple of examples that were especially powerful for me. My dad and I were always very close, and after his stroke, there were some unpleasant changes in the family. When he passed away unexpectedly in 2017, I didn't take it very well because we hadn't patched things up. I went for a run to try and make myself feel better, and I asked God to send me a sign to let me know that my dad forgives me and knows that I forgive him, and that we're all good. I told him specifically to send me a butterfly and then I would know. And then I was so annoyed with myself because it was really early spring, there was still snow on the ground, and asking for a butterfly really wasn't practical. We live on an acreage, and the next day a monarch butterfly was at my property, fluttering around my driveway and into the trees. So just to give some context for this next one, I live in a happy little bubble. I don't read the news, I don't watch the news, I don't participate in any online gossip, so I rarely hear about anything negative or sad that's going on. One night my mom came over and told us about this horrible accident scene at an intersection on the highway, and it didn't sound like it was going to have a very favorable outcome. I immediately prayed for the family, that they would be okay, and if possible, God would bring comfort to their family during that horrible time, and just for them to have the best possible outcome. I worked at an insurance office, and the very next morning, the wife called to report the accident, and I found out that although they were taken to the hospital, and it was a pretty serious accident, they were both going to be okay, and so were the people in the other vehicle. I'm still the same person that I've always been, and I've decided to get baptized because it just feels the right thing to do. I just want to make my relationship with Jesus official.
Yeah, well, Angela, I was just so blessed to be able to hear your story. Everyone say hi, Angela. Hi, Angela. Yeah, perfect. Man, so excited to have all of you here with us. Angela, so excited for you this morning. I remember when I think I was serving in Kidsman, and you came up to me and you're like, Ben, I want to get baptized. And I was like, yes, let's talk about it when I'm not surrounded by like 60 little people. So yeah, I'm just really excited. I've known Angela for a couple of years. I think you started, how long have you been a SPAC now? Just over a year, yeah. So so me and Angela are both fairly newish to the community. I've got to know her daughters quite well at youth group, and through that I've got to know you as well, which has been awesome. So as you shared your story, something that stuck out to me was that throughout your life, you kept continually seeking Jesus, whether that was going to church with your grandparents, asking your neighbors if they could take you, going to that evening service at Camp Nakamin, which is wild because I think a lot of us here have been to Camp Nakamin, so that's cool. That's a small world. And I loved hearing that you know Jesus and your experience with him to be true, not just because it's what you've been told, but because you've personally met him. And I'm so glad that you're wanting more and more of that, and I'm really excited to see what Jesus has in store for you for this next season of your life. Just excites me. I love this. But as we talk about, as you were seeking Jesus, one thing that I thought about was, I want you to know that as you've been pursuing Jesus throughout your whole life, as you've been searching for ways to be with him, he's been doing the exact same thing for you. That as you seek Jesus, he is also seeking you. As he is pursuing you, you're pursuing him. He's not way off in the distance waiting for you to reach him, but he's right beside you and he loves you deeply. And he doesn't wait for us to initiate intimacy with him, but he initiates it with us first. So I felt like this verse from 1 John 4:19 is perfect. And it's short, but I think it's perfect because it says this: we love because he first loved us. And I think that's so true. Angela, Jesus has loved you before you even knew him. And I think it brings so much delight to him. I know it brings so much delight to him that you were so eager to be able to take this step towards him. So I want you to be blessed with that. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So Angela, is it your desire to follow Jesus all the days of your life?
Yes.
Perfect. That's what I want to hear. Okay, you can cross your arms. I don't know, you want to plug your nose or something?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Angela, I baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Woo. Okay, I'm going to anoint you quick, okay? Angela, I anoint you with the power and the love of the Holy Spirit.